Green, the real ideal. It's not easy being green. We get caricatured a lot. As we grow our membership, deepen our activity, and increase our elected, we get ridiculed, misrepresented, and attacked. We're familiar with Gandhi's refrain. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they attack you, then you win. One of the most common attempts at ad hominem towards us is the notion that we're idealists. As with most isms, the accusation is that we have too much of it and not enough of the winning alternative, realism. To the contrary, the two are not mutually exclusive. You can be idealistic and realistic, just as surely as lacking idealism doesn't make you a realist. I don't, of course, mean by idealism Bishop Berkeley's skepticism about the very existence of the material world. Greens have nothing if not a robust sense of reality. In fact, if I'm right, most of the people attacking us aren't realistic themselves, just cynics. Who said the best form of defense isn't attack? Even the head of political polling at Comres, well, let's not hold that against him, said ahead of our conference 2 years ago, "What's green? Idealistic and not a serious party." Oh, but we are serious. Green is the real deal, the real green ideal. Is it idealistic to say that politics is about more than looking after number one, that we have a duty to protect the planet and biosphere for the sake of future generations and other species? Greens, we are guilty as charged. Is it idealistic to say that the 24,000 people dying a day of malnutrition and preventable disease is an indictment of our industrialized food system? Greens, guilty. Is it idealistic to say that how we treat refugees is a sign of our respect for ourselves, to do unto others as we would have them do unto us? Guilty. No to the status quo. Refugees welcome here. Donald J. Trump does not approve this message. Deputy Leader M. Shahrar Ali is calling for rehabilitation of Islamophobe Trump, facilitated through visits to London mosques. On second thoughts, maybe that's unrealistic. Is it idealistic to say that you cannot incarcerate a man for 14 years without charge, without trial, deprived of holding his family, not even able to witness the birth of his newborn? Sheikh Armour, not guilty. Is it idealistic to say that people should not be imprisoned for standing up for the right of future generations to an inhabitable planet by their direct action on airport tarmac? Heathrow 13, not guilty. I've been asked today to convey a message from them. Our heartfelt thanks for the huge support we've had from the Greens. I'm sure the public support is why we're not in prison right now. But we need more bold action to end the fossil fuel age and transition to a just and sustainable world. Is it because such a world is an impossible dream? No. Is it because we're idealists? Yes. Is it idealistic to say that we find unconscionable the very threat of the use of nuclear weapons, that we would not press the nuclear button? Guilty. No to Trident. No to Trident renewal. Is it idealistic to confront the double standards and counterproductiveness of the government's prevent strategy? Guilty. We will not allow the criminalisation and marginalisation of already vulnerable groups under the false rubric of a war on terror. Unconscionable actions perpetrated on a civility must be tackled on a case-by-case basis, whether by self-professed religious dogmatists or those of no faith, whether perpetrated by individuals or perpetrated by states? Is it idealistic to expose the hypocrisy of our public broadcasters, denying us a party political broadcast by their own criteria? Too right. The PPB, the BBC, didn't want you to see, coming to social media channel near you. I'm pleased to announce, actually, that we should be launching a crowdfunding appeal for just such an initiative in the weeks ahead. Is it idealistic to say that there are values beyond ourselves, that we can confer and discover value in a multitude of things? Doesn't breathable air have value? Doesn't a beautiful sunset have value? Don't our existences have value beyond the pretense of advertising slogans such as Selfridges, I shop, therefore I am? Yes, Greens aim high, unapologetically. We may not always get elected, or get elected quick, but nor do we sell out. We shan't sell out to capitalism. We shan't sell out to cash for questions. We bind ourselves to our conscience. There is such a thing as value in politics. The values of humanity, public services, and public service. Whilst others say our optimism in human nature is misplaced and wishful, we say we cannot afford not to believe in the capacity for human beings to overcome weakness or collective dereliction of responsibility. A green government would organise our society and institutions to maximise self-governance and to create the conditions conducive to our choosing to live within our means. And I didn't get that from Marx. Green living is beautiful, harmonious with nature, and welcoming of diversity. Cynics confuse relative difficulty with impossibility. Nothing was ever achieved without effort and will. Even the female judge in the Heathrow 13 trial was a beneficiary of suffragettes fighting for equality generations before her. Our ideals define us, help shape the realms of possibility itself. Whilst our critics would live in denial of the facts, we would live in full cognizance of them. We can sleepwalk into planetary oblivion despite fair warning, or we can fix the broken economy that would otherwise accelerate our demise by devaluing the things in life that matter. Green ideals require determination, fitness of resolve. Here I stand, I will do no other. It is hope that inspires change, not defeatism. It is objectivity about our situation that gives us all the motivation we need, not business as usual wishful thinking. Idealism ages well, and therefore it does not age. We are a party united in our ideals, across the generations, not in spite of them. Greens on a mission to change the world in small but radical steps, coming to a ballot box near you this May. On the Assembly in London, in Wales, the mayoral races in Bristol, in Liverpool, in council elections across the regions. We take inspiration from the recent by-election win in Shropshire. 49% of electors understood us. Let's make that 50%. Together, for our future, candidates are united in their resolve, armed with posting pegs. The real green ideal. It's the real deal.